better than anyone we've seen all year in terms of a carry position. Nico comes to mind for Mouse Sports in the Mirage match, actually against Flipside, but no less. We're about to get underway. Map 3. Take the advantage in the series point situation forward. It is Mirage next, which leaves only Inferno remaining as the 5th map if we need to get there. And at the rate we're going, we may need to do so. World Edit already pushing up, so there you go. There's your defensive aggro play. That pushes him up, and he realizes there's 3 there. He falls back inside the site. Blade's going to fall with him outside of the mid position, and Simple's already rejoined them. So it's a 3-man hold. Flamey and C's lurking over toward drop. They're going to try and catch off your rotators. That's Markelov and Bondik.
Yeah, they might be trying to get themselves in connector area, actually, through drop from here. No, instead, actually, NaVi is lurking all the way back towards B. That early presence on A was simply just to get a read on how the defense was playing. And a bit of a mind game. And
very simply as well, when the new World Edit had pushed up, perhaps they expect an early rotation off that, and they're dead right, because Simple's gone. He's outside of B, so there's only 2 on this very vast bomb site. And that smoke comes out late. Little bit of damage dealt to Markelov, but he knows they're there. He'll now call for the rotation back the other way. And again, it's Simple, Blade, and World Edit. They're all coming because they know it's late in the round and it's pistols to work with. But NaVi's doing the job. They've got everyone. All 4 players down with only World Edit remains. And everybody on NaVi gets a kill. Edward the last to do so, but everyone gets even money. And it's a flawless pistol.
Yeah, Flipside just left Markelov there to die on his own on B side, really. Bondik, his only teammate on B side, fell towards connector, and that left Markelov alone against almost all 5 of them, and he really had nothing to do there. And yeah, Flipside just got picked apart. Just a great execution for NaVi, and that mind game of just going early towards A really worked in their favor, because that made that rotation happen from the CTs and left only 2 guys towards B bomb side, and the execution from NaVi, flawless.
Nade bouncing out off the box, doesn't catch Simple with enough damage, in fact any damage at all, but Guardian gets the headshot on him regardless just before that smoke comes out, so already 1 up on this take, and they're just going to keep pushing forward. Zeus knows there's more there. There was a flash to blind off that defender, and Markelov drops on the backside. That defender that was blinded actually was Blade. He's fallen off toward the drop side, but Zeus just continues on. 2 for him now on the way through. World Edit with the Deagle, tries to do some damage. We've seen him make some huge plays with the gun, and he's already lined up headshot place, but sees stutter steps. He doesn't push forward. 1 more step, and that was a kill, and instead it goes his way with the SMG. So $600 as well, and now it's 2-0. Not a Svinsiri, and no kills yet for Flipside. Not a single frag on the board for them.
Yeah, and that's going to be a problem, especially if you don't pick anything here either. But quite a common way of approaching a anti-eco from NaVi there. Getting their early aggression towards B and then get the early pick and then committing to that site seems to be the go-to plan for almost every team nowadays here on Cobblestone. Yet again, they're actually putting that pressure towards B. But, flip side though, they've stacked 4 people there.
That's the big thing. They have stacked up 4 people, and they already get a dink out onto Guardian, so Flamey's going to take over the front. Let Guardian fall in behind him, and hopefully this AK will do the damage in return. Seized already finding Blade. Seized actually finding Bondik as well. Both of those SMGs. Markelov responds and finally puts him down as Flamey comes over the top of the wall, but he doesn't realize Simple's pushed out of the corner, so he's on the backside of him, and that means he turns back with the P250. And this will even up the round. AK picked up as well as that SMG, so this is looking great for Flipside, and World Edit's going to make it even better. Catching off Zeus. Guardian does at least get Simple on the way back out of the site. And they're still at B. Bombs over there, and they'll get this plant uncontested because they're late coming back.
Yeah, a bit of an impatient play for NaVi, but still Guardian saving the day so far.
Nice damage there. Dealt from Markelov over toward Guardian, and in fact, that costs him his life in the end as World Edit finishes him off, but Edward brings it back. The SMG, unstoppable so far, and so much damage dealt, but he can't hit the pistol shot. Finally, he does. And this will go to 3 rounds. And we talked about no kills going to Flipside in the first 2. They came extremely close to getting all 5 that time.
They were, and that was just due to the fact that NaVi, they had a squad of 2 players going towards A. The guys towards B should have been more patient, just waiting for the information from Edward and other guy that was on long A hall on the information that A side was actually clear at that point. But instead, they went on the push to B, and it almost cost them the round there.
But in the end, it's all for naught. Nonetheless, rifles out. World Edit onto his op. No head armor for anyone, and this is actually quite smart because they're up against AKs and ops. It won't make a difference if you've got head armor or not. Simple's the only one who thinks it's a worthy investment, and perhaps it might be if he gets tagged and the pistol comes out against him. It might give him just that slight upper hand, but no less right now. It's pretty standardized setup. Blade actually waiting at the bottom side of the middle. World Edit inside the A site, back toward the truck. He's slowly fading off toward that connector rotation, but right now NaVi's just panned out. They want to get picks.
Yeah, and they're rotating towards B side, actually. They didn't get a lot of information from A side, actually. They were just clearing out that side hall, and that's all they did. And already they're punching up towards B. But the time is a factor at this point. There's only 40 seconds left. Not a lot of knowledge on the defense from Flipside.
To their advantage, though, Bondic isn't directly in the drop room. They would be able to get down drop and try and get an entry in reverse, or even worse, they could use it to cut off the rotators. Edward's already on A, catching them off. They won't be able to rotate quite as quickly. They've got to deal with him. Blade and World Edit held up as a result. Seized has gone down drop. He might be able to get shot Bondic, who's playing the reverse angle. He's going to play it from inside the site. Bondic, meanwhile, already catching off on Seized, and Simple's got Zeus. So that slows down NaVi's take. Guardian at least does get Markelov back, but Simple's still waiting inside the site. And he knows that bomb's on the ledge. He can spot it up, so they'll just hold on to this. And in fact, Guardian has the only one left. He'll go put Baby in the corner, hold on to the AWP, and it's going to be the first gun round going to Flipside.
And Markelov again playing an instrumental role for Flipside's defense on B. Even though he only got that one pick, he slowed down the attack from those three players on B long, and that was pretty much what sealed the deal while Flipside the round. Again, Markelov showing up here on Cobblestone.
Well, it's a big thing that he does. And it's actually excellent that he does, because this means they can have confidence on him on this map, and consistency is a big thing for them. If they can start using this map more regularly in the pool, it's much to their advantage, because there's a lot of teams that aren't comfortable on it just yet. Smoke already out at mid. That's going to slow down NaVi a little bit. This time they're focusing a bit more onto A.
Yeah, it's quite a similar approach early on here from NaVi. They're going to try to get some knowledge on what's going on here in A and try to get that early pick on any aggressive CTs, but so far they haven't succeeded in that whatsoever.
Up through the door. World Edit reads the shot perfectly.
Yeah.
Waited for Flame. He knew he was spamming, read the bullet holes, and guessed the exact approximation of his position. Takes him down. Beautiful shot with the op, and that's what we love to see in Counter-Strike. So sexy, and already it's a one-man advantage for Flipside. Seized now, drops as well. That makes it 2. And Blade looks to do more. He waits patiently. That's bomb as well. So Zeus drops that over, and Flipside are in a great position to pick up a back-to-back gun round. We haven't seen that yet. Edward's lurking. He tries to come in the backside of the site from long, already catching off on World Edit. And he's going to do more than that. He gets Blade, so now they've got an opening to get back inside the site. It's still one-man advantage for Flipside, but no one directly on A. There is one in the Preacher, and does the Preacher have a sermon to spiel? It is not so far. Edward holds him off with a little bit of pre-fire. Simple's pushed up close. He's already on the backside of the truck, but that flash holds him off. He won't be able to come around just yet. Markelov gets Edward, no less, and it's all on Guardian. He can't do it with the op up close, and Flipside hold on. So scary, and Edward came inside the site, almost turned that back, but he'll get the second round.
And that was all due to the slow reaction of the fact that the bomb was already down. And they knew it. Flipside knew what the bomb was, and still the rotation wasn't coming in. Edward got the first kill on World Edit, and then got the kill down the middle, and all of a sudden it was NaVi's advantage situation, but just couldn't capitalize on the situation. But yeah, sloppy play from Flipside still.
And World Edit again wants to go out aggressively onto this long A, using the op this time. So if anyone's waiting out in mid passively, he'll catch them, but they're not. There's no one there. NaVi's already heading over toward B. They still have another buy to come out. They'll still force up because those first 2 rounds were so strong for them, but they're going to be broke after this if they don't win it. In fact, it's all Galil's. So it's a desperate force, but it makes no difference. They've got the money to do it. They would have been saving either way.
Hardly any nades for them to work with either.
Shot's going to come out. Simple, almost taking one down over the box. Meanwhile, his teammates have. It's Bondic and Markelov, and it's another double for Markelov. How many times can he do this on the B site? This is exactly what we were talking about and why we highlighted him, and make it a triple as he throws out the nade. Guardian drops, and it's going to be back to pistols. So Flipside clawing back very early CT side, and that's important. CT side has been the lackluster performance from both teams so far.
Yeah, it has, but a bit of a questionable force buy from NaVi on that one, because you need a lot of nades here on this map as well to have a successful attack on either of the bomb sites, and I think they were working with maybe like one flash, and that's just simply not enough to make an effective attack. And Flipside just took care of business quite easily there, and that's going to force NaVi on a save round here on the 7th round of this first half on Cobblestone.
So fire out, no smoke this time. They'll put it out late, but the incandescence is enough to keep Flamey from seeing directly into that crack in the wall. So even if he was up close, it would have prohibited his vision. As World Edit does look with the op again, aggressively out toward long. This funnels them slightly. You still don't have a read at lower though, so they can still get toward A beside you, but with Blade pushed up as well, they'll get a read on it. One flash out, Blade falls back though, so they still aren't 100% sure if it's going to be a full B commitment, as NaVi does slowly gather in that position.
As does Flipside as well. They are almost 4 on that side already. They have a feel on what's going to happen next, and they are right.
And Flamey's already out drop. They need to be careful because Bondic might get caught by this. That flash does come out, but Bondic avoids it. It was perfectly placed by his teammate, and that allows him to walk in. Catch Flamey off. Markelov going to lob this nade, bounce it off the wall. Does okay damage to Simple, but it's not enough to take him down, and he's already got the double. As he comes out, and they're going to collect everyone. Markelov contributes on to Edward. Bondic already into Guardian, and now it's a one-round advantage, for Flipside, 4-3.
And the money's building up on their side too. That's a key factor here too. World Edit almost 9K at this point already. Simple at 7K already. So should NaVi not be able to start building rounds here, Flipside could be running away with the CT side.
And they'll go back toward B again. This time AK's out. They'll try and walk it into the site. Again, Molotov going to be the one to delay it. They won't use the smoke directly. Now they will. That extinguishes the flames, but still prohibits the entry, blocks them off even more, slows them down. And Markelov again, he's so good in this position, I have to say. Probably the best of anyone we've seen yet. And he's already got a double. Need to go out to add insult to injury. A little bit more damage to go his way. And Simple will come in to collect that kill. So 2-1 for Markelov, another for Simple. Zeus to drop, and it's all Guardian, and he's trapped. He's got nowhere to go, and Simple gets him. And Markelov starts off the round so well.
Yeah, I think NaVi should learn by now that a direct push to B is not going to work, because Markelov's just playing exceptionally well on that position. I think if they want to hit that B side, they need to have drop room control, first of all, and do some sort of a split where Markelov's not going to be able to focus just in one area. It's not working out, NaVi, at all that way, so I think they're definitely gonna realize that at this point, that they should definitely not do that kind of a push anymore.
Bondic gets seized, so again, Flipside have the man advantage early in the round. Markelov again puts out smoke, covers off B, and he changes the angle, but the smoke's not deep enough. He can't get across as he wanted to. He wanted to change things up, and this time Guardian reads him. So if he got over there, it would have changed things up enough. You have to continuously keep your attackers guessing, and unfortunately, Guardian guessed right that time because it was the third time's a charm.
Problem right now is that Edward had timed out, so...
Oh, he has, you're right. He's not moving inside spawn.
Only 3 players on their side.
Has he left the server yet? He hasn't dropped. Now he has. No, he hasn't. He's still there. Bombs back toward him. Earth to Edward. Where are you? 7 kills for him. He leads the way. This could be impactful for them, as we're going to see Flipside try and hold on to this B. The bomb's going to be picked up by Zeus. He has to go back the long way, all the way out to the courtyard. Bondic wants to get Flamey. Does so. He's already dropped down. That's the second time we've seen Flamey get down unopposed, but not able to collect the kill. Bondic's countered him both times, so passive play holding drop right now from Flipside looks to be successful. And Simple wants to walk around and do more. He's been great in the backside as well. Another headshot. Perfect aim again. Guardian goes down. Zeus does get Bondic just before that, but he's all that's left. Does get Simple. Cancels it out. Going to smoke off the corner. He might still get a bomb plan out of this. It is a 1-on-2. It's still winnable. He's going to push through his own smoke. He may just do it. He knows the nades come out. He's going to catch Roulette going directly beside him, and now it's a 1-on-1. The question is, does he push all the way through and go to A or fall to B? And it looks like it's going to be fall to B because he's got no time. He's got no time. He's got none. He won't get the bomb down. So close, but unfortunately one step too far away.
Yeah, the timing on whoever the CT was last in that situation almost looked dreadful, but then the time ran out on Zeus on the plant. Just didn't manage to get the bomb down in time, and now we have a pause in their hands. Edward timed out, like we pointed it out, and yeah, they were playing with 4 for most of that round, and in this situation, wasn't exactly advantageous for them, considering they're 6-3 down at this point, and yeah, they're just having a hard time right now figuring out what to do here on their T side.
Well, that's the big thing, because that round could have gone their way, even more so if Edward were able to participate, because again, that came down to a one-on-one, and unfortunately, it meant that they had to push for it, and he goes through his own smoke. He gets one step too far away on the kill on World Edit, comes back, and it was literally a fraction of a second before getting that bomb down, and it was the right play. Unfortunately, he just didn't get in position fast enough. So that gives another one to Flipside.
Bit of a mixed buy here for NaVi. They're spending a bit of a buck here on this round as they have an op on Guardian.
Well, it does even back up the money. He was well and truly ahead, so.
Yeah, it does, yeah. So he's going to try and be an impact here. He needs to go huge in this round for NaVi to have a chance in this round.
And already we see a trade. Blade goes into one, but Flamey is the one to drop. Edward avenges him, so welcome back, Edward. Already contributing this time, and
that's the like a really fast rotation from Flipside. They're all rotating away from B bomb side at this point.
And Zeus does have the bomb toward A, but there's still two players at B. He could fall back. It is a long rotation. In fact, let's just see.
Now B's totally empty after that kill on Bondic. Cease is probably going to realize this quite soon.
It's a 15-second rotation, so they'll have time to get back. But Zeus is joining in. Cease gets stopped by Markelov.
The Markelov kill was huge. That's going to give more control for Flipside here.
But they're past the choke point, and Markelov's just getting into position to hold it now, so he's got to make these shots count over the edge of the wall. Does do some decent damage onto Zeus. He drops down to only 11 HP, and the high HP player, Guardian's already gone. Simple's caught them from behind. Great rotation from him. Great read. And a double kill. Edward, this time, he'll pull it back. He makes it down to a 1-on-2, but he's on only 11, and that's not going to be enough. Simple with the hat trick. The smarts from him give Flipside now number 7. Lucky number 7.
Markelov, though, he got that first kill and then wasted as much time as possible from NaVi, and that really helped Simple a lot on that rotation. Just gave him the time to come from behind and get those 2 kills. So once again, Markelov, even though he only managed to grab one of those kills, he played a huge role in that round. Could have turned horribly wrong for Flipside.
World Edit looking for the shot with the op, not going to get it. Aggressive again on the defense. This allows Blade to stay stationary. They won't think he's there, or at least he's hoping that's going to be the case as World Edit now falls. He's got to watch long. NaVi's finally putting some pressure onto A immediately. Seized your only player over at B. He's trying to just keep the defenders in place.
Seems like this is their default go-to strat. They want to go and check out that side hall and see what's going on there.
And it's Blade still down low by the doorway. And World Edit's out there. World Edit's got a shot with this op, but Flamey's going to use that smoke. He'll hug the left wall. World Edit just has to bide his time and be patient. As we see Bondic held out a drop from those flames. That allows Cease to get down below. So he's in the corner on the right side, but Bondic needs to nail this. He needs to read it perfectly. And Edward perfectly set up to take a headshot into Flamey if he wanted to, although something tells me that's not going to happen. Unless the demons possessed Edward. So time ticking away. Although I think we might have
flagged out.
Just potentially, yeah. So because no one's moving.
There
There we go. Okay, so time actually wasn't reset. Our clock continued. We go right back to where we were. 50 seconds, not 30. And everyone is exactly as they were, so GoTV, just a little bit of a hiccup, but nonetheless, we're back into it, and they already spot up World Edit. He fell all the way inside the site, gets tagged down, he has to fall off the roof. Bondic does bail him a little bit, catches seized, but they're pouring in. They're coming in with fashion. Markelov wants to just check B, make sure there's no lurk player, and there's not. They're all over on A, and it's Simple and Blade on the left side of the site. They're going to have to hold this crossfire because World Edit has the op, and he's trapped. He's so deep inside the site, and already Zeus finds Blade. They're going to swarm him. They're going to walk in with so much power, and Simple can't do anything. This time, they've canceled him out. Flamey down on the door through Markelov. How does World Edit get one up close? It's Zeus. That's a remarkable shot, but no less, it's Edward right back into him, and it's all on Bondic. He has to hold this. They do try and go for the play, and he does good damage onto Flamey, but he can't find the last shot, so that bomb will go down. Again, no more good damage through the edge of the wall. 15 HP now for Flamey, but still alive. Not so well, but still alive. And that means they can secure these post-plant positions. Guardian's going to go well and truly outside the site. He's at long, waiting for this cross. But this new truck, that doesn't allow him to be seen quite so easily. So Bondic can get a little bit closer, but it won't matter. Guardian is completely aware, and he'll catch him off. So Natas Vinciri now have 4 on the T side, and that's important. Get to 5, get to 6, and we've got a game on our hands.
Yeah, again, NaVi really wearing that clock down, and he almost cost him. Luckily, Flamey got the bomb down, and in the end, just they played it perfectly there in that situation. Guardian and Flamey, the positioning was nice, where Guardian could see him the last remaining CT before he could enter the bomb site, and that gave a huge advantage to NaVi in that situation. Seems like we have a pause here.
Yeah, they did call for the pause, and Edward says, admin pause, please. So potentially something further going on.
I think I saw, VAC authentication error, so.
Well, that's significant. So this one could be a slightly longer delay. Who is it left? I think it's Zeus. No, it's not. It's seized. Good call. So NaVi having some more issues, unfortunately, but hopefully they can get these resolved again. They've now got 4 rounds to their name. This makes things a little bit easier. And again, get to 5, get to 6. You've got a game to play. But Flipside are quite proficient on their T side on this map. It was a comeback against Mouse Sports that made it possible for them on the T side in the qualifier and as well against VP last night. They were also quite good on the attack.
Definitely. And for NaVi at this point, I hope they've learned from their mistakes. Don't do a direct push to B, because Markelov is just being way too strong in that position. If you're not able to cause him any kind of a distraction from drop room, then you're just simply not going to be able to enter that bomb site. And right now, the way that they play, where they're trying to take control of that side hall towards A at first and trying to get those early picks from that side of the map, seems to be working well for them, since Flipside is a pretty trigger-happy team when it comes to rotations. They rotate extremely fast, and it may cost them later on in this half if they rotate as fast as they have so far. But the next couple of rounds, I think, are going to be hugely important when it comes to the outcome of this map. If Flipside can get their defense or keep it going, I think it's going to be tough for NaVi. But at the same time, if NaVi can really work those tactics, it's going to be tough for Flipside to hold it together.
Well, that's the big thing. They have to hold this together. They need to stay strong on their CT.
Cap up.
Cap up. We see it. We get the proper HD face in there as well. So NaVi is having some connection problems. We already have stated, and that's the situation as it stands. So Flipside, this is their map choice. They took their first map choice. We held station. We held true on overpass. They don't like it as much. NaVi swamped them on that in return. Now we've got a closer game. Cobblestone, I still think, favors Flipside. If they can get that, it's Mirage next. That's obviously favoring NaVi, and I think we could see the 5th map tonight, which is Inferno, and that's a dead split between these two teams.
I wouldn't write Flipside off on Mirage either. They, especially their CT side, and that the way they hold middle is very dynamic. And again, I gotta highlight Simple because he's playing on that B short. The aggression and the way he plays it is very smart. He makes it very hard for attacking teams to take any control in the middle of the map, and I would say Mirage for me also it's a tough call to make, to be honest with you.
And actually, as you say that, thinking back, Flipside have had some epic comebacks on it, but usually it's due to some heroics late.
But at the same time, I believe in Copenhagen Games, they just got demolished by Dignitas on Mirage as well.
Yeah, that was a weird thing. That Dignitas had Flipside's number all weekend.
Yeah. Seems like they got a bit of a back and forth results, but maybe it could be just the head-to-head with Dignitas being a problem for Flipside. But I think overall, their Mirage is not bad at all.
You could probably still put it in their top 3 maps, but again, NaVi on Mirage is extremely good.
Sure, of course, but it could be a very. I think these 2 maps are actually very close contested between these two teams.
So this series could be good. This is finally Flipside putting a run to NaVi. Of course, we're not down this map, and there's no guarantee that Flipside have this. We're just speculating based on how their T sides have gone. They've already got 7 CT, but NaVi actually is putting up a late charge. And again, they're going toward the A site now. They're avoiding Markelov, and that's made a bit of a difference. Yeah,
I mean, not exactly. They don't have to avoid Markelov. I think if they want to hit that B site, they just need to be more smart about it. Having a direct attack through that B long is not going to work for them, because the way Flipside is holding that side of the map is just working out very well for them. It's all on Markelov, and he's been doing a phenomenal job on that. And I think it's just going to be up to NaVi be more creative in the ways to attack the site if they want to get entry in there.
So it looks like we are going to get Mr. Seized back inside the game momentarily, or so Guardian claims. We'll see if that is true to be the case or not. Regardless, he'll rejoin us at some point. But this gives us a chance to talk, because after VP lost last night to Flipside, they trounced Fnatic on the Face-It game, 16-6, and that's actually who's waiting in this bracket. So it was kind of like saying, hey, if we made it through, maybe they could have got the spot for Bucharest. They don't get that chance. It also highlights that Fnatic hasn't been as strong online lately.
No.
So this is interesting for tomorrow if Fnatic are going to qualify or not.
Yeah. I think Fnatic, they've, speaking about them, even though their online performances have not been really that great. Overall, though, after having that rough patch late last year, after DreamHack Winter, they've really picked themselves up. I think they seem more inspirational when it comes to playing Counter-Strike, and feels like they've refound the joy in the game again. So overall, I think Fnatic is not in such a huge slump. They just need to find the rhythm, just need to find those few little timings right, and I think things are looking bright for Fnatic in my point of view.
That was actually a good point, because obviously after what happened at DreamHack and the whole witch hunt thing, they were pretty down on themselves, and they were down on Counter-Strike in general. It was very hard, and they came to ESEA land. They were quite
can you
silent.
blame them though?
No, you can't at all. Of course not. When the whole world, I mean, there's a lot of people on the internet, and the internet can be a quite brutal place sometimes. And when they're constantly bombarding you on social media, and you've got nowhere to hide, it's definitely hard on them, and that takes a toll. They came to ESEA land. They stayed quite hush. You could tell when they got there, they were quite anxious about their I guess the community reaction and what it was going to be, because that was the first tournament they played since DreamHack. They won that. They were back. They instantly were revitalized. And like you say, they really enjoy playing the game. Karn claims that all the time. He said that when he was here with us, when he was here with Toby and I about 2 weeks ago, that he said they love playing the game. They love Counter-Strike, and that's one of the advantages they have. They never really...
And they're young. I mean, they got everything ahead of them, all of them. I think they're all 20-ish. So
yeah,
they're really early on.
I think they're all over 20, but yeah, they are definitely younger. That's
very young
guys.
Right. So they got many years of Counter-Strike ahead of them if they wanted to, and they're already right on the top. So just my word of advice as an old man: keep faith.
Yeah, you're getting up there, aren't you? You're pushing like 45 at this point, not to?
Yeah,
close to it. Close to it.
Let's put it this way: I'm closer to 50 than my birth.
That's actually true, regardless of my troll. So you've got a good point. So, I think you're right in the fact that Fnatic, they haven't looked as strong online. Now, keep in mind, that was for Face It for a best of one, but it also, tomorrow night's a lot more serious. It's a best of 5, and there's a land spot on the line. So Fnatic's likely going to be prepared mentally and hopefully physically for it, because a lot of times they come out slow on online matches, and that might be hard on them early.
I want to make a point here. I think a lot of teams should. That's something we were talking about as a team, actually. For any really significant online match, should we play it together at some place, like a cafe, like a LAN cafe or someone's house, or something to get us really going, and because there's a huge difference in between playing online and just like talking to each other on a TeamSpeak or a Mumble instead of physically being in the same place. This is going to give you
awkward high fives are a lot worse in your house, because you go like this and then there's no one there. There's no.
I know,
God damn it! I'm in my bedroom.
Yeah. That's what I mean. It is very different mindset, especially for these guys that go and compete at tournaments all the time. The time you're home is sort of the downtime for you, but at the same time you gotta be competing in all these high-profile tournaments. So it's really stressful for the head, for sure, psychologically.
Yeah, definitely. And Thorin made a good point about StarCraft players going to LAN and still feeling like they're at home by taking the same noodles, so they eat the same food. That is actually a good point, and it's kind of like hockey when teams play good on the road. Where are we? What is going on? I didn't even know this crane existed.
There's a nice scenery on Cobblestone, actually. I've been roaming around it before.
Man, that's Olaf's new spot. Get him up there. Get him up there immediately. Hey, do you know the snowman in Frozen is named Olaf?
I've heard of it.
I was watching Frozen yesterday. Now, I'm not ashamed to admit it, and I realized that the snowman is named Olaf. Please, somebody make something hilariously related to the GIF of that. GIF makers out there, please call Olaf out for being the snowman. But the point is, I was going to say, hockey teams play good on the road. When they go to a home game, sometimes the management will say, you're staying in a hotel. We want you to feel like you're on the road if they're having a slump at home games. It's kind of similar when you go to LAN. If gaming houses, those teams do have the advantage. They're constantly beside each other. But then there's also this argument, and it's that you're still online, you're prone to internet attacks, and all 5 of you get hit as opposed to just one. I guess if one's going to get hit, it still affects the game.
Well, it's a bit of a different thing, though.
Again,
we're talking about 2 different things, oranges and apples at this point.
Yeah, That's. I mean, that is a hard comparison. I think it'd be interesting. I don't know if an internet cafe is the best place. I'm sure it gets crowds.
Well, yeah. Somewhere, if you have like the opportunity to go someone's place, maybe to land up and play together. Just the point being that you're more focused when you're together with your team, than opposed to the situation where you're home. You could have so many different distractions.
Hey, Vision 1992, just for making that joke. Enjoy your band, bro. Peace. Rip and Pep. Sorry, I didn't
even know what we're talking about, but
no, it's fine. Right. Don't worry. He knows what I'm talking about. See you, buddy.
Peace out.
Yep. It is against the terms of
There's a guy called Twitch Middle on the server. I think.
Yeah. Okay. So this is what happens. So rather than going the long route of trying to get it reauthenticated with VAC, I think he's actually come into a second account. So that is seized back in the server. The unfortunate part about doing this is by coming in with a second account, eBot won't recognize him, and he has to go back to the default money. So he's on 800.
Yep, that's the thing. But that's the trade-off. Yep, if they want to have that trade-off, then that's their choice, I guess, at this point.
So, well, it does get the game back underway, hopefully quickly. And maybe C's can make up for it by just grabbing an SMG and going on a rampage, and then he'll have all the money in the world to work with.
That is true. We saw Freiburg going nuts the other night.
He made, and you talked about it, he made a good point. He said Tech 9s may not be nerfed enough, but now they're at least easier to play against.
That is true.
With the SMGs.
Yeah, that's a good argument to make, actually.
Yeah, so well done, sir. Well done, Freiburg, for showing some positivity in the new patch. We're still not going live, guys. Keep chat in English. Kappa, says Guardian.
The troll himself.
I'm trying to see. I can't read Ukrainian. Let's see what they're saying. Middle did change his name to Seized, and now we should get ready to go. And again, just a reminder, as we can see on the lower third, we do have the AK Wasteland Rebel Factory New. Quite a skin to give away tonight for the subscribers. Okay, so we fixed it. C's just rejoined again by switching his name, and hopefully the admins have taken care of it. He did get the 4200, so they did fix it with eBot. He now has the AK to work with, and we're back to normal.
Yep, I'm pausing it too, so game's about to go live.
And it's 7 for NaVi with the last round went their way, and it's been on an A take. They've been a lot more aggressive in that position because Markelov has been shutting them down on B to great effect. And actually, as soon as Markelov goes down, Simple's in great position to follow up. So that 1-2 punch on B has been a little too overwhelming, and A has been quite successful. We'll see if that's going to continue on to the trend. We're about to get it started.
Yeah, their slow plays have been much more successful than their straight-up plays, and if I was NaVi, I would definitely keep up with the slow plays instead. And it seems like they are doing quite a similar push right now. The only change really I can see is Flamey being together with CS here towards B-bomb side, but apart from that, it's pretty much the same old, where Edward and the boys are clearing that A hall and trying to get those first kills over there.
No first blood just yet. Shot did rattle off from World Edit, but he doesn't connect. So he'll fall back because he knows he's going to get overwhelmed. They've come up close based on that first miss. And now it's going to have to be Blade, who's down below, to escape with his live. He does smoke it off. He'll fall back up toward the ramp. There is a gap above the smoke. He can use it to his advantage, but they're already slightly forward of it, so I don't think he'll see them. Simple, meanwhile, does go down to Flamey. Sees DeMarkelov, the only two left to B, because Flamey went into drop and World Edit smartly turned back, but NaVi still has this one-man advantage, and again, it's on an A presence. This is going to make Flipside reconsider their defense and spread them out. Now NaVi is going to be playing mind games with them. Markelov at least gets seized, but he's all that's left, and he might just hold on to this M4. In fact, that's exactly what he's going to do, because he's just a poor CT from a poor CT team, saving this gun in a poor economy. But they will not let him go. They're going to try and track him down.
Yeah, they should.
And Guardian's already looking back toward the T-spawn. Edward fanning out as well, but he may get away with this nonetheless. It's going to be 5 now for Nadas Vinsiri.
Yeah, NaVi switching it up a bit. They sent 2 guys to drop room instead. This time it wasn't only C's, it was also Flamey who went over there, and they actually committed to it too, and got picks there, I think even 2, and that really opened it up. I think if they manage to do that later on, that really enables them to have a more efficient entry towards that B side too. That's the only way they're going to be entering that B side. If they get the first kills there at drop, that's what I think. And that's probably going to force... No, Flipside is going to force it up here, actually. We already see Simple buying up. They have money to buy an op, too, so World Edit is going to be on the op. And let's see if he's going to try and get an early presence. At least he's going to be pushing that A-hall down the stairs to middle. See if he can capitalize on the situation.
And again, World Edit's out toward long. He hasn't been as welcoming to the idea of the push, so he's sitting back toward the mid, just above danger. That's where Blade will support him from. He's actually inside the bottom of the stairwell this time. He gets a flash out. That goes deep. World Edit's ahead of it. They don't line up. They almost do, but Guardian gets the better kill. And that's with your new nerfed op move, and he still finds the shot, and Edward follows up. Blade goes down. A, again, is cracked wide open. NaVi have exploited a hole in Flipside's defense. They need to win these one-on-one battles, and they're not. Edward also jumping up over top of the wooden board. Spots out Simple. He's your first rotator, and he's going to get caught even further, or does he? No, Simple gets the exchange. Edward can't land the shot. Guardian, though, he's lurking forward with the op. Already holding the angle this time. Doesn't have to worry about the slow movement speed, but can't land the shot on the first try. That allows Simple to get over to the left side. Bondic's going to join him from the Preacher spot, and Flamey's going to cancel out Simple. It means they're all left side of the defense. If they can smoke it off and get the bomb forward, they might be able to get this plant. Flamey goes down. Zeus trades it. Bondic's out. And Markelov has seized. Lurking up behind him. Doesn't matter. Zeus has already found him as well. 7-6 now. And it's even more dire for Flipside. They'll go back to, well, just pistols.
Yeah. And like I said, the next couple of rounds, we're going to dictate how this half is going to end up with. And NaVi strongly looking at scoring at least 7 rounds here on the side Cobblestone. Just have to highlight Guardian's play there. World Edit seemed like he was on the position where he had the advantage, but Guardian just somehow makes it work on the peak and gets that pick, and then Edward even gets the second kill. Opens up that A side wide open. NaVi with the 6th round on the board.
And potentially more. This time they do go back to B. They haven't a chance to check it out. They know the economy is very weak right now for Flipside, so they might as well scout it out and see if things have changed over there. If maybe they do pull Markelov off it. He's already down and out of the round, though, as is Blade and Bondic. And it's all left to World Edit because Simple decides he's had enough as well. Bye-bye, Cruel World. And Edward with the SMG will take out World Edit. We're tied on 7s.
Yep. I think it's a decent half for both teams at this point, considering we've seen massive T halves from Flipside as well before. So it's not all lost for them, but obviously it's not gonna be a walk in the park for Flipside on the second half here. As it's their turn to go. Yes, it's their turn to go T next time.
So bada bing, bada boom. World Edit aggressive. Simple holding tight with the op on B. Markelov just getting into his corner now, but Guardian's already found World Edit. He's caught on that he's getting aggressive there, and he just waits. He just waits for the shot. So simple.
Yeah, it feels like Guardian's got World Edit's number at this point. Just picking him apart.
And that's big because World Edit is a top player. He's only got 6 kills right now for Flipside, and that really hurts. Simple and Markelov doing all the work, and again, it's Markelov to start it off. This time he only gets 1. It's Flamey to counter him, but Bondic makes up for it. Drops him down in the end. Zeus still lurking over on A.
Blade's got to be huge here if Flipside has any chance in this round, but nope.
And he gets overwhelmed because he tries to dodge the bullets coming from long and walks into the op of Guardian that's down below on the ramp, and it's all left to Bondic to come in. 1 versus 3. He's up close. Guardian's still looking toward the vents, and that means he catches 1. He almost gets Zeus as well. He has to switch over, out of ammo in the magazine. Now he's got time to reload it, but the bomb is going down. They'll be able to play these post plants. Bondic's not going to give them time to set up, though. He already catches Zeus, and it's not going to be enough. So close, yet so far, and NaVi win the half by 1 on the T side.
Yep, that felt like it was going to be NaVi all the way through there on that round, but then Bondic almost clutching a 1-on-3. Very close indeed, and just the push through the smoke was one of the key fundamental things he did there. Just he had the guts to do it.
Well, that's the thing. Bravery pays off in that case. But it's still NaVi in the lead by 1. We switch over. Flipside has made their magic happen on the T side on this map. Again, last night against VP. It was no different than against Mouse Sports and in various other occasions on all sorts of maps for them. That's just where their forte is. And their defense looks strong on B. The problem was that they had no compensation for A as a result. And once NaVi caught on to that, they were winning all the battles. World Edit couldn't come alive. If he comes on like he normally does, then they have a chance to hold A. But they had, like you say, Guardian had his number.
They definitely had. And I think World Edit together with Simple, those two guys are the biggest, I think the most key players for Flipside to be successful as a team in the long run too. And I know we all know World Edit is one of the better players, and he is definitely one to watch, but just wasn't his map so far. Guardian definitely was dominating him.
We'll see if that trend continues, because if so, NaVi might take the lead heading onto Mirage. And although we've debated it, we've decided, well, I think I've decided at least, that I think NaVi do still have the upper hand on that, but it'll be another good match, another close match.
Yeah, I feel it's gonna be fairly close contested.
So 3 over toward B. Zeus, Edward, and Flamey watching drop, while NaVi have seized and Guardian inside the A site. Bondic, World Edit, and Simple are on that side. They're going out toward Long, but the bombs drop down inside the B halls. Markeloff and Blade will be the ones to make the decision based on the call of what's going on the A site. And Edward's pushed up. He's already in the corner to watch that hallway.
Yeah, quite a similar player from Flipside actually to NaVi's when it comes to pistol run here. Early pushing that A hall, but then lurking all the way back towards B, and I think NaVi's going to catch up on this with C's just pushing middle, and he's going to get a ton of information.
Ton of information indeed. Flash goes out. Edward blinded by that one, but I still don't think they'll be able to read that he's in the corner. They need to pick this apart and watch Seized. Watch Seized. He's in behind them. Edward's doing the damage. Edward's doing all the damage. 2 kills from him. Make it 3. Oh no, pardon me. That was Seized. Little happy and extended there, and Seized actually gets double, but that flank comes off huge. I thought Edward landed that 3rd shot. That would have been remarkable. The first 2 still pretty nonetheless, and it's on World Edit. 1 on 4, and I highly doubt he'll be able to pull this off because they've got the bomb secured, and they're just going to hold this choke point.
Yeah, Flipside had no idea on the flank because World Edit was on long A.
That it's not done. He's quite proficient with pistols, and now he's got 2. He can't get the 3rd. Zeus already behind him and in position before he could fall back and get the angle. So not a Svinsiri get the round, but some good performance. Look at these shots from Edward. That distance with the USP.
Yeah, well, he's one of the best USP players in the world. He has been for many years to come. And will be for many years to come, indeed.
So well played by NaVi. They get the pistol round as well. This gives them a bit of breathing room and a bit more space to build the lead and the cushion in the economy because they're going to go for the SMGs. In fact, 2 of them already out. It's Seized and Edward to grab them. Only one Famas on the deck already. Okay, now Zeus will grab one. What does Flamey do? That's the question. 34, it has to be an SMG, and it is. It's an MP7. So 3 SMGs, lots of opportunity to build up money.
Yeah, a lot of nades spot by Flipside here. They're going for the 4s on 2nd round. See what they do with these nades. It seemed like it's going to be some sort of a B execution coming anytime soon now.
They're flashing out above the wall. They want to try and get those off and blind off Edward, who's already firing away. There's one behind him. He's got to be careful. If they drop down and read where he is, that flash, he sees it. He just barely saw it, but he gets away from it. So it won't quite blind him entirely. Nonetheless, they don't push through it, and Edward's going to go to work. There's 2 already. Make it 3. He's pulling the Markeloff this time. He's holding B on lock, and so much money gained from that. Make it 4, and can he get more? Can we see our first SMG ace since the update? And it's going to be simple. That's the last one left. Tech9 goes his way. That C's down. Edward's going to get behind him, and I think we will. We might have all 5 going Edward's way. He's already coming. Simple spots him up. Doesn't matter. Edward gets it, and that is so much money.
Look at his bank. It's almost 7 grand.
I mean, that's, well, it's $3,000 right there just for those...
That's ridiculous.
$500-$600 kills.
That needs to be changed. Put it that way. If we're going to have this balance of the weapons, Gabe, make it happen.
That's huge. That is huge. We said build up the economy.
They certainly have. All right, a save round from Flipside here.
It has to be a full save as well. They've got one P50 for Simple because he did pick up a kill with the Tech9, but that's all they've really had going for them. Seized is going to be holding strong. It's his turn with the SMG to shine. He gets 1. They walk in to the bullets, and that's 2. But finally, Bondic puts him down. Guardian already in danger, though. Side shots come out from him, and they had no idea, no anticipation that they would get slaughtered quite so easily and that quickly after getting that opening kill. And it does go Guardian, all 3. And NaVi now up to 11, but AK's coming.
Yeah, the danger for Flipside at this point is just the money situation for NaVi. If they can get a clean win here, I think it's over for Flipside just for the fact that NaVi is really building a bank and they're already looking at just a hefty amount of money. And if they're just not able to do any trade kills or anything, I think it's going to be over for them very quickly. But the next couple of rounds are going to be very, very, very important in terms of how this half is going to end up with.
Well, they need this gun round to start things off, like you mentioned, and we've got another slight delay coming out. We've got the unpause already, though. So Flamey's dialed to the unpause. That was Flipside's doing. Okay, so Seized actually did disconnect, and he's back in.
Well, let's see. It's going to be interesting to see what position Guardian plays and how he utilizes these AWP skills. Is he going to go for the entries in middle or side hall? Seems he's going to be pushing here in middle. together with Flamey, they got some tricks here.
Markolov's already working in toward drop. Op shot rattles out. That's from Guardian, but he's tagged down to 68. As a result, Flamey up close on the doorway. Waiting for someone to push into him. No one's going to just yet. He's playing more aggressive than Blade did. There it is. There's Guardian. That's what World Edit was trying to do in the first half. So he's already one-upped him again, and it's Bondic that goes down. He's the victim. Fired a delay and a flashed across back over. He'll get back inside the site. Meanwhile, Blade catches Zeus. That's over toward B. So potential opening there, and in fact, they're going to take it. Flipside's on their horses. They're running as fast as they can to join up with Markolov. Blade's already dropped. Flamey's got him, but he's still the only one on the defense there. Yeah. And Markolov's just going to wait. He doesn't want to go in solo. He doesn't want to give up the man advantage, or at least give away a man advantage. It would have to be rather lackluster to do so, as Flamey still waits on the backside to drop. Flashes go over the wall. Now they're in. And they're soon going to realize no one's there, but Guardian's close. He's in the doorway. He's holding the long shot right now. They'll need a smoke to get in. They've only got the one. They put it out. It's going to be close on the site. That'll get them on the backside of Statue. Markolov finds Flamey. That makes it even easier, and Guardian's so low. He's so low. He's on 2 HP and seized with 32. Does try and get behind for exits, but that's all they're going to play for.
Yeah, they really need to save at this point. Guardian missing 2 huge shots. A pick in middle, should have he connected, then it could have been totally different. Then missing that shot in B site, he could have been a difference maker here from NaVi, but at this point they're better off just saving these weapons and hoping for a better next round. Money is still alright for NaVi, so they'll be able to make a good buy for the next round. Good exit kills were seized, very good ones. That's going to prevent a lot of money from Flipside. They're going to be in a bit of a tricky situation for this round, since they're not going to be... Either they're not going to go for AKs, or they're not going to have a lot of nades to work with. Have to make a compromise.
And Edwards grabbed it up. He's dropped it, though. Who did he throw that over to? They have to... Okay, no, he actually just bought out an M4 as well, so he'll throw that away. Or pass it further.
Well, they get a reasonable amount of nades, so that should be alright.
Guardian looking for this aggressive shot again. This is exactly, as I mentioned, what we saw World Edit trying to do. This way they're not going to counter it. World Edit is on the backside, but again, no op, like you mentioned, for Flipside tactics. As that bomb is down in the B halls. Zeus and Edward holding B a lot more passively than how Flipside did so. And Blade's already passed that smoke, but he's caught. Edward gets him. There's the first shot from the op. Now it's Guardian's turn. Is he going to find one over on the A? So far not. He has fallen back just a little bit. Bondic's going over to grab this bomb in the B halls, and I think they still want to commit. Markolov's going to be the first to drop down. He hasn't done so just yet. But Zeus is waiting. He's on the back side of the doorway. He'll spot him and hear him, no less, at least when he does come down. And Seized is lurking back into the connector. Markolov, there he goes. He's already down. He spots up Zeus, tries to win this exchange, but Zeus fires back. No damage dealt to either. In fact, Zeus only losing a fraction as he falls away, and Edward's still doing the job. Bondic's caught this time. Zeus does get Markolov. Simple does get the op, and he gets more. What a shot. That's seized as well, and they're going to take down Flamey. Flipside have found a way in. It's down to a 2-on-2, but World Edit's dropped. Zeus gets him, and it was with the pistol, so Simple has to nail this shot with the AK. Huge play from him so far, up to 3, and he's going to need 4 to make it the round. And Guardian's dropped the op. He wants to get up close. He's going to go for this M4, excuse me, and he's already deep inside the site, but what a reaction from Simple. He looked dead to rights and already responds. And that's going to bring Flipside on to 9, and that's crucial. That's massive.
That was massive indeed. Flipside had nothing in that round, nothing until Simple happened. And he's just single-handedly, he got Edward. That was a big kill, getting that up, down, and then he just went on a rampage afterwards and clutched the one-on-one against Guardian. He gave Flipside a lifeline here on Cobblestone, and actually he even put NaVi on a save, so you cannot just undermine the effect of Simple for Flipside. He is just a massive player for this team.
Massive is an understatement the way he's played tonight. Blade falls off B, unsighted. That smoke gives him the conceal to get away. So no damage done. NaVi pistols. How do they respond to that? Guardian still stays aggressive at long. Bondic already finds him though. AK wins the duel. No surprise there, but watch out, Blade. You're going to walk through, and there's going to be a pistol waiting for you. It's seized, but he goes down. Edward resumes and fires back. Nice shot with the USB, and World Edit catches out Edward. This leaves just Flamey and Zeus. Flamey's inside our connector. We said he was going to be our rotate man, but we'd have to watch. We haven't had the guns come out yet on this side, other than the one round where Flipside, Simple, Played absolutely lights out.
Both teams have played quite similarly on the G side so far.
Zeus did secure this one Galil, and he actually uses it to good effect. That's Markelov down. They could have taken that gun and thrown it over the edge of that wall, but they don't. They leave it in middle and they pick it up. Nonetheless, it goes down in the end, but it still hurts the economy by 1 because he got a kill with it. And now it's 1 round the difference. NaVi's still in the lead. They'll get back to guns this round, but Flipside building a bit of momentum, and it's T side for them. This is fearful for NaVi now.
It is. The pressure's on for NaVi at this point. Money's not good for either side, so this run here is either going to equalize this match or it's going to give NaVi a huge advantage going further on this half. And World Edit, I think World Edit and Simpler here are going to be the guys to watch to make the difference.
Opening shot from Bondic. Seas does go down. World Edit not able to find anything over that smoke, but Flamey does find Markelov. That evens us back up. Again, he's your player that's on that drop and on the rotation. Him and Zeus already going back over to A, but he turns back based on the call that Blade has taken down Edward. So this brings us back to 3-on-3, splits up our defense, and Simple and World Edit want to take advantage. They're going to come down long right now, and Guardian might get caught. No, just over the edge of the wall in time.
Yeah. Blade really plays that B long very well on T side. He really actually reminds me of how Allomeister plays it. It makes a lot of impact there. Getting picks and just throwing and stuff around and just making a good place.
Guardian has to turn back, play this reverse angle. They may not check it because they won't expect him to be there, but Simple again! Utterly insane. Another headshot over the edge of the wall, and Flamey gets played, but it won't matter. They've got the sight, and Flamey's on 17 HP. Simple on 6, no less, but bomb's already planted, and this will be a tie game. Flipside claw back into it on a huge performance from Simple. And we're going to be knotted up on 11-11. Betters make your wish because that's all you can hope for at this point. This is so close and so back and forth.
If you're a Flipside Tactics fan, you're gonna be happy at this point. Flipside is really poised to take this cobblestone actually at this point from the look of it. It's all been very simple for Flipside. On the T side, they just do the default strategies and they just sort of get the picks, and then even if they're outnumbered, you're gonna have Simple just cutting the slack and taking care of business. That's going to force NaVi on a save too, so nope, it's actually not. They're going to have to go for the force, and this is a bit of a make or break situation for NaVi, to be honest with you, with this force buy.
Well, World Edit does have his op back out, so he might be able to get out toward long. We'll see if he plays it aggressively to counter off Guardian. So far he's not. He's actually sitting passively. That one smoke from Flamey allows them to stack actually, so seized Guardian both out at long. Flamey down in the mid. This leaves 2 on B. And Simple wants to be the one to get the information. He's your lurk. He's your reconnaissance. And he actually takes a little bit of damage. But another one shot from him. And my goodness, there's nothing you can say to stop this man. Edward drops immediately after. Never give this guy an AK. Because it's a finger of God from his mouse when he has it. And Bondic's going to take Flamey. That brings us back to just 2. Seized and Guardian. And like you say, this force buy will leave NaVi very broken. And it's not paying off. They haven't found anything with it. Not even a consolation prize as the bomb does go down. Bondic's still lurking. He's so close to both of them. He'll be able to pursue. And with seized only on 15, it should be easy to find him, but he's got to deal with Guardian first. He spots him up, takes that initial shot. He's on the backside. Is someone else chasing? There is. Seized gets Bondic. And they're actually going to catch Markelov as well. So the question is, do they want to go for this? In fact, they look like they're investing. All 3 of them now heading that direction. But they don't exactly have a lot of money either. No. That's the curious part, because Bondic has 550. And Markelov's only got 700. Simply luckily does find Guardian. That's 1 less gun for them. And we'll see Seized go down after the round. That's the big thing. He does, and almost getting World Edit. But no less, T's will force back up, or at least, not even a force, excuse me, a buy back up. And the CT's done and broken.
Yeah, and they really need to save at this point. Don't get into that vicious cycle of force buying round after round, because you can afford a save round here and then creep back into it. But another Simple show, just a straight up play towards B, and Simple took those 2 entry kills, and it was pretty much over with after that. They got full control of the map, of the site, and there you go. Flipside finally taking the lead here.
Edward drops. Simple, Markelov both waiting to come over the edge of that drop as Blade tosses up the smoke. Lob down to the backside. Hopefully hold off Guardian because they want to come around this corner. Zeus has to hold. He's on the backside, directly to the left. But again, just pistols. He has to nail the shots, and he won't. Markelov's already got him. Zeus counters actually back out. Pardon me, it was Guardian that went down. So it was actually Guardian they found first. But they spotted, or at least heard Zeus change his angle. Simple knows he's there, and he's actually just going to flash it off. He won't take the fight. He doesn't want to go up close with that CZ. He turns back, and Zeus pursues. No luck that time. But watch out, because in the corner is Edward. World Edit checks it, doesn't spot him, and Flamey gets him, so at least they get one. This will pick up the op. He might be able to hold them out of the sight. And they've only got 38 seconds, and they've committed. The bomb goes down. Seized gets it. Now there's a chance for NaVi. They've actually pulled this round back in their favor, and not only that, he picks up the AK-47. He's going to play it passive on the angle, but Bondik's going to be spotted when he goes for this. Or is he? His head just barely hidden, but he jumps up, firing away, gets it. Seized on the headshot. Bondik has to respond, or pardon me, Simple has to respond to Bondik. He does. It's back to one-on-one, but there it is. Flamey, and it's an equal-round victory. Not a Spin-Siri. Pull it back, and we are not getting away from the deadlock. It's 12s.
Well, they decided to go B through drop, and there was a lot of presence from NaVi there, and they got the trade kills going for them, and then Simple just unable to save the day this time for Flipside. But yeah, that was a necessary win for NaVi. Really, that was a really nice way of getting your motivation back and get your drive going, and money too. The money situation for Flipside. If they lose this one too, all of a sudden it's NaVi all over the place.
Blade's in an awkward spot. He's out past the edge of connector, and he was caught off. They boosted up. He was looking there, but nonetheless, Edward gets the better of the shot. We've only got a Tech 9 for Markelov. Molotov out to slow things down up above. And he'll fall back. Just wants to stay passive as Simple. Oh, so scary.
Yep. They seem to want to have that B-side on their own again.
Simple's up to 29, by the way. The next best on his team is 16, so again, it's another huge performance. No less, it's Edward on 26 and 17 now for Zeus as he gets World Edit, and the Flames will catch him in return. And there's Simple on your entry again. There's no stopping him, and over the top, another spray control, and catches Flamey as well. How does this guy have this great aim? He is insane. Only 17 years old. I think he might be 18 now, but who cares? The teenager's playing like more than a man as he gets Guardian. Finally, they answer him. Seized puts him down. That brings us to a one-on-one, and it's Markelov, the man who has to win this for Flipside. The flash catches him. He spams away. Does do a reasonable amount of damage, but that nade's going to go back the other way. Doesn't catch him, and Markelov wins it. Flipside resume the lead, and they're only 3 rounds away from the map advantage as well. And this is only map 3. What a series it's turning into now.
Yeah, it's become a very close contest, and like we sort of predicted it. Cobblestone is going to be a very close contest, and Simple again just going to town and getting those entries in B. He's just hitting his shots in such a fashion, it's almost impossible to believe the way he's hitting his shots, making it happen. And Markelov, the old dog, coming in, clutching the one-on-one, reclaiming Flipside lead, 13-12 Flipside.
Flamey holding again down below the drop. He's going to be the man that has to prevent this split right now from the T side. Edward's got the shotgun. He's up close because it's broken by.
Yeah, it's forced NaVi into a bit of a forced buy situation again. Although Guardian with an op, he needs to be the vital player here for NaVi.
Oh, that fire bouncing the wrong way. So Flamey gets to hold the backside. That just barely gave him the angle to take down Blade, but Markelov responding immediately. It's a good trade. And Flipside might be able to build on this. And how broken would NaVi be if they lose this round? And that would make us potentially on match point, although they have won an eco already this half, so we won't rule that out. Bondik, meanwhile, over on A. Simple's going to be the one that joins them, and they just want to do damage. They just want to be able to prevent these 2 rotators. In fact, Guardian's there as well. So there's 3 on A. It's all Edward to hold B right now. And Guardian finds Bondik. That's big. Because without Simple making a presence, they know this is going to be B, but they found Edward. They've got to get in and get this bomb down. Markelov's going to have to support from the window. Simple catches Zeus. He thought he could get him before he got back over to B, but it actually goes the other way. And look at Markelov. He lets him go past, and he walks out behind him. Guardian's going to be kicking himself for that. As the bomb does go down, Seized is all that remains, and he's going for the big flank. In fact, he may not even go for it. He may just play for these exits. And it looks like that's what he's going to do because he's moving quite slowly with this from Oz. He just wants to get into a position where he can find some damage on the way out. So it's going to be 14 Flipside, and it's going to be a very broken not a Spin-Siri after this round.
Yeah, Edward, the way he pushed that B long, turned out to be very costly for them because he got picked, and then the B-bomb side was just wide open. Flipside got the free entry, and then Markelov getting Guardian there in connector without any contest. Those two factors basically just shielded for Flipside, and NaVi is in a very, very rough position here right now. Probably going to force buy here. Or are they not?
It would be desperate. It would be more than desperate. I think they've got to just play for overtime at this point.
Seems like
because they won't even give themselves a chance to do it if they force now. If they lose on the force, they've got nothing and it's over.
Yep.
And it's not even a great force because they're quite low. So it's only that one from us.
Yeah, it's a reasonable choice to make. I can understand that.
Smoke off on the choke point. Trying to do some damage was Edward with that CZ75, but C's lines them up. Now they've got a chance. Now they have a start because they'll secure an AK from that as well. There's actually a second gun there, but there's not a third player at A. So the question is, do they run someone that far just to get the other AK or not? Zeus looks like he's going to. He is. They want that gun and they want blood, but Blade finds Edward. That'll open things up a little bit on the A site. And Blade's already down on the drop. Markelov's going to come around. Zeus needs to hurry up. He just now picks up that AK, and he's on the way. He's going for the big flank. It's 3-on-3 over on B until Zeus arrives because he's so far lagging behind. Smokes out, seized with no angle, and that means Blade can walk in. World Edit, there he is, finally back in the game. He's got Guardian down, he wins that off battle, but Flamey, great shot from the P250. He's taking down Blade, and it comes back to a man advantage for them, and low HP right now for World Edit and Markelov, and World Edit's drop. Markelov's planning inside the smoke, they know exactly where he is, and it's an easy kill. That one from us, all the difference, and now NaVi have given themselves a chance to not just play for overtime, potentially a whole lot more.
Yeah, NaVi just they took the right opportunity by pushing that one weapon to long A halls, and they got those two entries, and it made it turned it around all the way to NaVi, and yeah, just great choice there. You need to make your risks, take the risks when you're on a save, and they took the right risk, paid off brilliantly, and he's just getting closer and closer here. 14-13. Bit of a forced buy for Flipside for next. With 2 Galelos on the board and no AWP.
Well, after 2 one-sided games, 1 apiece, the series is in full deadlock. As Flipside right now with 14-13, the rounds are even on how many each team's won all night. As Simple tries to go back to work. This time he can't land the shots. Down to 61 based on the nade that comes out to counter him off, and a pop flash as well. That delays him further. Bombs down on the backside of these B halls, and in fact, this time I think they're going to go toward A because Edward, Flamey, and Zeus are all on B. And without being able to get those entries, they've got to come up with a secondary plan. C's playing where Blade was on the first half, down below in the bottom, holding off on that doorway as Bondic might come around from danger and just scout it out. World Edit looking for the shot on Guardian.
It's an interesting choice to have. Then they have Edward on the op in B and not Guardian on A.
And there's no op for World Edit either, so it'll be a straight rifle exchange. C's, though, he's the man that started it last round. He's going to do it again. It's Bondic to drop. Flash comes out. He dodges it deep into the corner. Keeps his vision well and truly intact, and Guardian's found World Edit above, and it's an easy kill. He checks the wrong way. Simple goes down, and that's your bomb. AK picked up by Seized, and only 2 men left. They're going to tie this back up on 14 unless Blade can do something about it. He wants to. He wants this bomb, and he knows Seized is there. He knows he's up close, and he's going to get caught with the nade out. He does. Blade gets it, and Markelov's found Flamey, so we're back to 2-on-2. These rounds are so intense, but Edward catching Markelov lurking just with the CZ75, and he was low HP. Edward on himself is on 21, and Blade's actually going to wrap. He wants to go toward B. That op shot missing. Edward can't connect, and he's going to have to fall back and play it again. Blade doesn't want to battle it. He gets caught with a knife. He's running out of time. 5 seconds left, and he won't get it. He's just going to get this off for the next round. It's all he can hold on for. He could have been potentially gone back and taken the fight, but it would have been desperate. Instead, he holds on to the weaponry. Not a bad decision, but they get caught. They get held out. And Simple not able to find the entries on B. That was the difference.
Yeah, and Seized was the difference maker for NaVi. He got the bomb down in middle, and that was problematic for Flipside. The fact that the bomb guy was lonesome there down in middle, got picked off by Seized, and the bomb was dropped down there. That pretty much was the winning factor that the time went out in the end. Contribution to it.
Edward still the one on the op. They haven't gone back to the double op setup, so again, Guardian's going to be just on the rifle. But they want to keep this op on B because that's where Simple has been making all the bloodshed. And if they can stop him with that one quick shot, everything changes. Even last round when he couldn't get the entries, like we say, he couldn't get through, and that changed the round massively in NaVi's favor.
Yeah, and a broken buy from Flipside as well.
That's right. It was them that were going to play, NaVi that was going to play for overtime, and now it's them that's going to be the one that gets match point potentially first. We'll see if Flipside can do one better. As World Edit does at least have the rifle, the big green out in his favor. And he's checking every corner. Seized down below again. Bondic needs to be able to read this. They need to know that Seized has been playing in that spot. And this time it's on the right side when they come through, not the left. That's where they checked last time, but he was smart, he was wise, and he changed his angle.
Markelov already in the drop room. Let's see if he can make an impact here together with Blade.
Well, they need to realize that Flamey's running. They're going to hear him go by, and they should be able to catch him on the backside. Blade's going to look for that shot. Meanwhile, there's Simple. There's your entry. Flamey does turn back, and how does he find Blade? That was an easy kill for Blade, but it was only the pistol, so he couldn't secure it. Meanwhile, Simple goes back to work. Seized goes down, and World Edit. That op already coming into huge effect. Guardian drops, and they've got the man advantage. Make it more. Simple, relentless. He's got the bomb. He's heading to the site, and they should get this plant because Edward just now arrives. He has the op, but watch out down below. They're up close, not even able to get the first shot. It's World Edit, so with only the 2 rifles to start off, they find themselves on 15, and NaVi, not a lot of money left. They've got to force all the pistols out.
This is so back and forth, it's really hard to even analyze at this point. It's being down to just great individual performances. Simple at a modest 36 frags at this point in this match. Again, he had a few quite an impactful frags in that round, and let's see if they can seal or if we're gonna have an overtime in our hands here.
And Edward, not to discredit him either, he's on 27 right now for NaVi, 7 ahead of Guardian. Seized is going to start things off. Last time he had a FAMAS and started it off, it went their way. World Edit not going to allow it this time. Direct antidote goes back in.
It's a good trade. That definitely favors the terrorists.
Big time, because look at the weaponry. Flamey's the only one with anything that's more than just a pistol. It's a shotgun. He's going to have to play an up-close angle, and Simple's already found 2 more. That's 38 to his name. Can he hit 40? That's going to be only possible if he collects the last 2, so no. Markelov's already got Flaming. It's all down to Guardian. Hashtag roadkill, and he might get burned alive as he walks on top of the fire. Tries to come in. Simple gets him. 39 total and 16-14. What a match, though. Holy crap, that was back and forth at the end.
I don't even know what to say, to be honest with you. I said it would be a close contest. I think you could say I was right.